Yeah, this is Darby Allen, and you're watching AEW Insider.
What's up, peeps? We're back. As always, I'm your host, Lee Benson. Thank you so much for joining us for our YouTube edition of the AEW Insider. As I say, I always come back to the peeps to produce some great content for some big wrestling events. This is the AEW Insider, so usually I only cover their big events, but how can you not cover Wrestlemania? Well, it's WrestleMania time, peeps, and we have two great nights of action. Could the cards be better? Yeah, they could be, but who cares? It's Mania. Just the spectacle of it, the showmanship, the celebs, the surprises. Will Bayley return? Could it turn out to be Shane McMahon as Seth's opponent? Cody Rhodes? The Undertaker? Who knows? Regardless, it's going to be 2 nights of fun. So on this episode, we will cover night 1 of WrestleMania 38. I will give the current full card and my predictions for it. So we will kick it off with the Raw Women's Championship, which is up for grabs. We have the defending champ, which is Big Time Bex versus Bianca Belair. Now, I'm not excited for this match at all, or either of these superstars. Big Time Bex has been horrible since her return, and just a horrible heel in general. Bianca Belair has been stale since her second week after being on the main roster. Her championship run was trash. I really could not care less who takes this one home, but I'm going to go with Bianca Belair. We have the Smackdown Tag Team Championship up for grabs, which is the Usos versus Rick Boogs and Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, this is another match that I'm not very invested in. I mean, Boogs and Nakamura together are awesome. I hate what they did to Boogs' look. He looked way better the way he used to. I don't know where they're going with this gimmick. It's just real stupid. But at least they kept him with Nakamura, because when they separate those two, Boogs is going to fall right between the cracks and just be gone. I mean, that's exactly what's going to happen to the poor guys. But together, the fans love them, and it would be great to see them as tag champs. But the Usos have been killing it with their cousin. I just don't know. Are the Bloodline going to lose all their gold at Mania, or are they going to retain? We shall see. But I got to go with the Usos. We also have the Miz and Logan Paul versus the Mysterios, Rey and Dominic. This match should be decent. It's great to see Dominic and his father Rey team up, and it must be a dream come true for both of them. The Miz is just awesome, and he's just one of the best around, and it will be interesting to see what Logan Paul can do. Will he be a Bad Bunny, or will he pull a Gronkowski? It's going to be interesting to watch, but I got to go with the Mysterios. We also have Kofi Kingston and Xavier King Woods versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland. Now, normally this match wouldn't excite me. It kind of still doesn't. But there's definitely some undertones to it, since Ridge Holland almost broke one of their New Day brothers' neck in Big E. I don't like what WWE is doing with King Xavier's gimmick. It should be pushed a lot more. He's totally into it. They should be pushing that to the moon, and they're not. It's uneventful, which is really crazy. I always thought Xavier Woods was the breakout New Day member, to be honest, and should be champion. Hopefully one day he will. We know Kofi wins big at Manias. Sheamus is awesome. He also won big at Mania. One time he beat Daniel Bryan in a couple seconds. And Ridge Holland is just getting his feet wet on the main roster. So, I mean, Ridge Holland's a beast. Sheamus is a beast. I usually go for the bad guys, but I just don't see Vince having the New Day lose at WrestleMania, and especially after what Ridge did to Big E. So I got to go with Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods to take this one home. We also have a return that has been 19 years in the making, when Stone Cold Steve Austin appears on the KO show hosted by Kevin Owens. Now, we know this is not advertised as a match. It's not supposed to be a match, but when it's all said and done, there will be violence. So at the end of the day, the end of the segment, which man will be left standing? And if you ask me, you gotta go with Stone Cold. We have Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin. To me, Drew also has been stale for a long time now. He was great in NXT. He was great on the main roster for a while. He was a decent pandemic champion, but after that, he's just boring. You might hate Corbin and Moss, but at least they are entertaining. Both are great wrestlers, and they work their butts off to get where they're at, and they're paying their dues. I gotta go with Happy Corbin. We have Seth Rollins versus his mystery opponent. So who will the mystery opponent be? We all know if it's not Cody Rhodes or somebody like The Undertaker, people are not going to be happy. They started a Twitter account for the mystery opponent after Raw. He posted a pic of Seth holding one of his old world titles in his hands looking down at it, and the caption said, "I'm going to take that title from you like I did last time." Now we know Cody didn't do that, so is it a work or is it somebody like Finn Balor? Who knows? So this was almost impossible to call until we know who it is. It would be fucking amazing to see Vince himself come down and fight Seth or Cody, like we said. The Undertaker would blow the roof off the joint, but like I said, if they don't come correct, people are going to be fucking pissed. So my winner, I got to go with whoever the mystery opponent is. And finally, for night one, we have the Smackdown Women's Championship up for grabs, which is the Queen, Charlotte Flair, versus Ronda Rousey. Now, I can't stand Ronda. Never could since she stepped foot in the WWE, and I still can't. She's boring as fuck. And you also can't invest in her. She shows up for a few months or a year, she cashes in and she leaves. She just sucks. Charlotte is the queen, and she's one of the best female wrestlers in the world, and she's going to make Ronda look good during the match. I hear Ronda signed for a year this time, so I know they want the belt around her waist for the majority of that year. I want Charlotte to win, but it's not going to happen. So unfortunately, you gotta go with Ronda Rousey. Alright peeps, that's it for WrestleMania 38 Part 1. Be sure to tune in to my Part 2 picks. Part 2 has some great matches going on, like Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory, Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville, Edge versus AJ Styles, and of course Brock versus Roman to unify the titles. So definitely tune in for my predictions and views on this amazing event. Remember to show us some love on all major social media networks. On Facebook and YouTube, we're under the AEW Insider. And on Twitter, we're under the AEW Insider 1, as in the number 1. As always, I'm your host, Lee Bentz, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night for WrestleMania 38, Part 2. Ciao, peeps.